And speaking of our state legislature, while the race for the White House is getting all the attention and all the ads this campaign season, there is a battle in our state, in all 134 districts across Minnesota, for control of the People's House. Right now, Democrats hold very small majorities in both the House and the Senate, but Republicans are doing all they can to get that control away from the Democrats. John Croman explains.
It is law.
There it is.
There you go.
If it seems like Governor Walz has been on a bill signing spree the past 2 years,
It's law and our democracy is strong.
it's because his fellow Democrats had delivered those bills to his desk. All thanks to the power of what insiders call the DFL trifecta: Democratic control of the state House, state Senate, and the governor's office. We checked in with Larry Jacobs from the Humphrey School of Public Affairs.
The Democrats have had their way at the Capitol. They control the governor's office as well as both chambers of the legislature, and they have passed some of the largest increases in spending and liberal program building that we've seen in Minnesota's history.
It's why House Republicans have spent the past year vowing to recapture the House.
We were completely steamrolled by the Democrat majority. Our voices were not heard, shutting out the voices of Minnesota.
Democrats, by contrast, have argued they're more in sync with where voters are.
These priorities are Minnesotans' priorities, and they were the Minnesotans who sent us into office to govern and to make sure that we were standing up for their beliefs and their values.
Democrats now hold 70 seats in the House to the Republicans' 64. The GOP needs to flip just 4 of those seats from blue to red to take a 68 to 67 seat majority.
There is enormous potential for Republicans to win back the majority in Minnesota House. The question are going to be, I think, broader. Will Royce White's candidacy against Amy Klobuchar tend to depress Republican turnout because he's not generating much support?
The full Senate isn't up for re-election until 2026, but there's a special election in Senate District 45 in the West Metro between former DFL Senator Ann Johnson Stewart and Republican Kathleen Folk. The race will decide whether the Senate remains 34 Democrats to 33 Republicans or flips to Republican control.
One of the big puzzles in Minnesota is that we keep seeing Democrats winning statewide races while Republicans have done very well in the legislative races. And the answer to that puzzle is that Republicans are distributed more evenly in the state.
Jacobs points out you can't predict how the legislative races will go based solely on how the presidential race is unfolding in Minnesota.
There is a long-standing tradition in America and Minnesota of people splitting their ticket. They might vote for, let's say, Harris for president and then turn around and vote for a Republican for the Minnesota House. This used to be very common 2, 3, 4 decades ago. It's become less common because people are so loyal to their parties. If they're a Democrat or a Republican, they tend to vote that line. It's almost as if you're looking at Minnesota Viking fans versus Green Bay Packer fans.
So whoever the governor is when the new session starts, whether it's Tim Walz or Peggy Flanagan, they may be dealing with a divided legislature, which, as we know, can be the recipe for stalemates and standoffs and shutdowns. But as Jacobs pointed out, that's what some voters prefer versus a trifecta. Jana?
John, has it ever been the other way around in your memory that there was a Republican governor and Republicans controlled the House and Senate in our state?
Not while I've been on that beat. It's always been divided control of the legislature with the Republican governor. We haven't seen the Republican trifecta while I've been covering it, but I'm sure it's existed sometime in history.
All right, thanks so much, John. We appreciate it.